morning, children. Children, today I am going to take English for 9th class. So in the last session, we have left this study skills and listening. So let us see this study skills. Speak for safety. Joan fought for her rights. Here is how children can secure their right to satisfy and dignity. Here is a conversation that Fatima had with her friend's mother. Fatima: Kala, I want to tell you something. Friend's mother: What is it, Beti? Fatima: It is about this uncle. He is my Mamu's friend. He was at my Mamu's wedding last week. He took me into his room saying that he had got a gift for me. He tried to hug me. When I told him that I will tell my mother about him, he said my mother will end up scolding me for going to his room. So she was explaining to her friend's mother that he was his Mamu, his uncle. There was a marriage. When we all are in the marriage, he told me that there is a gift for me, and he asked me to a room where he took me and he tried to hug me. I told him that I will tell to my mother about this incident. So when she said like that, what he said, like he said, if your mother come to know about this, that you came to my room, she'll end up her life. She will end up scolding me for going to his room. So friend's mother. Now see what friend's mother told. Oh, thank you for trusting me and telling me about this, Fatima. Can I talk to your mother about this if you are scared to do so yourself? So Fatima's friend's mother told, thank you, Fatima, you trusted me and you told me this. If you don't mind, can I talk to your mother? Because you are scared to talk to your mother. Can I talk to your mother about this incident, she said. Fatima: I don't know. I think she will say it to my I don't know. I think she will say it is my fault. So Fatima is scared that, and she is telling that I don't know, if you go and tell like this, she may tell that that is my fault, why I should go to his room. Friend's mother: But it's not your fault. You did not break any rules. Everyone has to know about him. Otherwise, he will go on troubling you and other children. So, friend's mother told, no, it's not your fault. You did not break any rules. And everyone should come to know about his behavior, or else he will be troubling you and the other children like this. Fatima: Everyone at home respects this friend a lot. No one will believe me. They will blame me and try to make me feel ashamed. So Fatima said, no, auntie, he is very respect. Everyone at home has a respect on him. Everyone will believe on him only. They will scold me and they will make me feel ashamed. Friend's mother: There is no shame in any part of our body. Shame or respect comes from the way we behave. That man needs to feel ashamed. That man needs to feel ashamed, not you. You did not break any rule. You need to stop such behavior and start following safety rules. Otherwise, one day he will land up with a police case against him. Fatima: Kala, does that mean I'll have to go to the police station? Friend's mother: According to the POCSO Act 2012, no child has to go to the police station to report abuse. The parent, caregivers go to the police station and file an FIR. By the way, the police has to register the FIR, otherwise they can be punished. The police meet the child wherever she feels comfortable and talk to the child in the presence of the caregivers. So Fatima, thank you Kala for offering your help. I feel much better after talking to you about this. You can talk to my mother. So children, don't afraid of anything. If you feel like any incident like this, you immediately can inform to your parents or whoever you trust. Okay children, so be brave and be open to your parents and your whoever you trust them. So anything happens, don't feel that they may scold me. They may say that they may scold me, or they may think that I am doing mistake. Don't feel that when there is no mistake. If at all, if you have a mistake also, you can say to your parents that this has done by me by mistakenly. So your parents or your elders will help you. Okay children? Next, listening text. Listening text, go back to the page number 172. Comprising. Good evening ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TS Culture Mela Week. Well, there are melodious music, colorful decoration of the dais, and the lightning of ceremonial flame. But it has nothing to do with the Hollywood Film Festival. Boys and girls from different districts of TS have gathered here to inaugurate the Mela tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to announce anything, anytime, you just come on the right up and let us know. We are wrapping up with an interesting play, Rani Bhagmati, by our government school students. Perhaps you know Bhagmati was a native of Chiklam. Now it is called Shalibanda, which is 10 miles away from Golconda in Hyderabad. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, the 5th Sultan of former Qutub Shahi dynasty, fell in love with her. The Sultan wanted to give something worthy to her lady love. He built a new city. He named it Bhagyanagar in the year 1591. He laid the foundation stone of the new city under direct supervision of his Prime Minister Mir Momin. The new city was built with the grandeur of heaven. He named the city Bhagyanagar after Bhagmati. Now we are calling it as Hyderabad. After they got married, they changed her name to Hyder Mahal, and that is how the city was named Hyderabad. Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah of the Shahi dynasty named it Hyderabad. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to declare the Mela open. So this is about listening text. And what is the comparing about? What did the Sultan give Bhagmati as a token of his love? How did the Hyderabad get its name? You will have to answer these questions. What is the comparing about? The comparing is about AP Cultural Mela Week. And what did the Sultan give Bhagmati as a token of his love? Sultan built a new city and named it Bhagyanagar. How did Hyderabad got its name? Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah, 5th Sultan of former Qutub Shahi dynasty, fell in love and built a new city and named it Bhagamati. After it called as Hyderabad. Okay, now we will go to the reading B. Antony's speech. This speech is an extract from the play Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare. Julius Caesar was a Roman emperor with a great political power. He was killed in the conspiracy led by Brutus. Antony, a great friend of Julius Caesar, gave a rousing speech to the public on his occasion, keeping the dead body before the public. He begins his speech by saying, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Friends, Roman countrymen, lend me your ears. I came to bury Caesar, not to praise him." I came here to bury him, his friend Caesar, not to praise not to praise him. The evil that man do lies after them. The good is interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is a honorable man. So, are they all honorable men? Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. He had brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransom did the general coffers fill. Did this is Caesar's seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterile stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is a honorable man. You will did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse was this ambition. Yes, Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it comes back to me. So let me explain this in detail. So this is a story about a friend. Friend, Romans, countrymen, give me your attention. Give me your ears. Lend me your ears means give me your attention. I have came here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do is remembered after his death, but the good is often buried with them. So the evil they will be remembered, but the good will be buried with them. It might as well as the same with Caesar. The noble Brutus told you that Caesar was ambitious. If that's true, it's serious fault and Caesar has paid seriously for it. With the permission of Brutus, and the other for Brutus is an honorable man. They are all honorable men. I have come here to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend. He was faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He brought even captives home to Rome, whose ransom brought wealth to the city. In this the work of an ambitious man, when the poor cried, Caesar cried too, ambition shouldn't be so soft. Yes, Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all know that on the Leparcal feast day, offered him a king's crown 3 times, but he refused it. 3 times was this ambition. Yes, Brutus says that he was ambitious. And no answer. Brutus is an honorable man. I am not here to disprove what Brutus has said, but to say what I know you all loved him once, and not without reason. Then what reason holds you back from mourning him now? Men have become brutish beasts and lost their reason. Bear with me, my hand is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause until he returns to me. So this is what the story about a friend, and the author of this poem is William Shakespeare, and he is from 1564 to 1616, was an English poet and playwright. Widely regarded as the greatest writer and dramatist in the English language. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His surviving works, including some collaborations, consist of about 38 plays, 154 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems, and several other poems. These plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. So you will have to write the poem, children, first. Okay, write the Sakshi. Lesson 7B. Write question answers, grammar in classwork. So write this poem in the classwork book. After writing the poem, write the glossary and write the question answers, children. Okay. So write this Sakshi in your book. We'll meet you in the next class. Till then, take care, children. Bye.